Well, here's part 2 of the
We should probably
pump
fixing the pull star.
cheap pump build.
It's gonna be taken care of anyway. So
Sorry.
let's get some of the plastic off of it and we'll
Let
work
me turn
on
this
it.
guy down here.
Pull star, I mean the air cleaner.
It's been running. It's been running for a while, and I should recap on my last video. I said I put 5 gallons through it. I put 5 gallons of gas. It's thirsty. It's under load constantly. It won't hold full throttle at all. I mean, it backs the linkage back down, but it backs off to about a good in between full and 3/4 throttle. So, hey, if that's what it wants, I'll let it do it. It's fine. It's still kicking water out. It's running at that speed. So I'm happy with it. It's I said cheap. It's out back. I really don't want to get the mower back out there again. I was sitting here in the garage and I heard it die. I went out there and something I've noticed with that motor, once it dies after being ran, like the block is hot, it's really, really hard to start. Really hard. Very, very difficult. And being that that's a 11 horse pull start, my shoulders aren't ready for that. Like I said, last night I ran 5 gallons through it, and the first gallon, I think that's okay. I think that tank is a gallon and a half or a gallon and a quarter. It's a pretty big tank. And I started it, let it go, and left. I left the house. I had to go do something. I come back. I don't know how long I was gone. I was gone for a little while. I came back and it was dead. It ran itself dry. But it was cool to the touch. The muffler wasn't hot. I mean, I even touched the crankcase and it still had a little bit of warmth from the oil inside being still being warm, but everything else was cold. And I filled it up and pulled the cord, boom, fired right up. But then I was out here waiting, trying to see how long it's going to take to run a tank of gas through it, and just messing around with the old YouTube videos and pondering, and should have been cleaning. It was Saturday. Who cleans on Saturday? Anyways, so it died, and I went out there, filled it back up. It died. It ran itself out of gas. It died. And I filled it up right away, and I could not start that thing to save my life. It was bad. It just did not want to go. It didn't want to kick over. I thought maybe that the pump might have still had prime, and it was trying to start the engine and pull water at the same time. So I took that feed line off. Still nothing. My shoulder's still kind of a little tender from just that right there last night. But I gave it a few minutes. Came back to the house, chilled out, got out of the mosquitoes because they're bad. They are so bad out there. I mean, they will carry you away. They're pterodactyls. It's like they land with their mouth open and all of a sudden, boom, you're bleeding. But I gave it some time, went out there, hit the choke, pulled the cord, boom, fired right up. No problem. Easy. And actually, it didn't take long. I hooked the line back up to it, and it took those jugs on the ground are prime, just water jugs for priming. And it took 2 gallons initially at the beginning to get it to prime. After I unhooked it and there's still a little bit of water in the bottom of that pump, it didn't take much. I think it took a half a gallon, not even that, and it just started spewing after that. I was like, all right, cool, all right, we're good. Hop back on the lawnmower and come back up here. And I didn't let it run out of gas after that. I kind of timed it, kept going out there, feeding it, kept going out there, feed it. It's so hard to start. I mean, so hard to start when it's hot. When it's cold, that thing, you don't even get the cord all the way out, and it's just pop, 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 and it's just ready to go. So, I ran it out of gas again, just earlier. Went out there, I emptied the can, emptied it out, and I think I'm done for tonight. I gotta get backpack, school, lunch, all that stuff ready. Get my sweetheart up and get her ready to go to work. This is me. I'm, like I said, second shift. Sweet. And I guess about the time the sun starts coming up, that's when I go to bed. And I'll try it again. I'll try it again later on. If not, it might be Friday. I'll get my homeboy Michael to come up here and show him the results. He hadn't seen it running yet. It's kind of one of the reasons why I was making this video, so at least I could send it to him, because it's so much easier to send a YouTube video than share videos via anything else. I mean, I'm not on Facebook, so all you can do is like and subscribe below. But yeah, it's working. It dropped the water level on the bank another, I'd say, a foot, but you have to think that the walls of that tank are tapered. So as it's bringing the water in, it's starting to get deeper and deeper. It's pulling a lot more out. I mean, it pulled a lot of water out of there. And hopefully at some point I can get like a daytime video if I'm awake. And I don't know, kind of give you the better visual of what's going on here, instead of flashlights and lawnmower headlights and all that good crap. So, but yeah, I mean, it's working. It's working good. I'm happy with it. It rattles so bad. That thing shakes so bad. It actually, and mind you, it's still running. It's running very well, but it's already vibrated the carburetor loose on the intake manifold. The 2 bolts that hold it up into the side of the head, they're loose. I went out there, tightened them up, and they came loose again, but it still runs fine. It vibrated a bolt out of the carburetor, and I found it. It was right underneath the carburetor, but it was still just purring right along. So, I mean, I had the tool I had on hand is like one of my good go-tos for like hose clamps and stuff. It's, you know, just a regular 6-way, but I couldn't get this fat handle in between the exhaust and the top of the neck for the intake to really get a good tighten on it without burning my knuckles. And it's way out there. I'm way over here with all the tools. I just carry that if I need it for like a hose clamp or something simple, and it's came in handy. But I think I'll get it once I get a chance. I'll tighten everything up really good, put all the bolts back in it, and I don't know. I need to come up with some kind of a screen for the end of for the intake, because I really don't want to pull something like a frog or something through that pump and just totally case it out. That wouldn't be good. It'd be done. So yeah, I need to do something like that. But so far, I mean, there's no sticks, there's no mud, there's no crawdads or anything. I've watched kind of ridiculous, but I've actually stood there and watched the exhaust and see what's coming out of that pump. Just kind of tea-colored water. I mean, looks like rain. Good stuff. But it's going to start coming down to it. I'm going to need something because things are going to start. It's going to get more shallow, and they're going to run out of room to get away from that vibrating hose in the end of the water. So it might suck them up in there, and I might come up with something on that. I'll look around, see what I can come up with. Maybe some kind of a, I don't know, gallon paint can or something with holes in it, or I don't know, something. I don't want to spend any money on it. I want to do the cheap, because I've gotten this far without buying anything. But I bought 4 bolts. I had to buy 4 bolts, and that I didn't have. So, and I think they're like, with the nuts and the washers and everything, I got like $2.25 into it, maybe. We're not going to include the gas though. That just can't count that. It's thirsty. But yeah, I'll mess around with it more. I'm dedicated to do this until it blows up. And once it blows up, I'll take a video of that for sure. So, all right. Catch y'all on the next episode.